think it's fair to say that one of the things we were most excited for in Spain was the food.
So 500 euros just to get this ham.
Come with us as we eat our way through Sevilla and learn everything we need to know about Spanish food from a local guide.
One of my favorite parts about going on a food tour is going through different markets. And so today we are at the Mercado de la Encarnación, and there is a lot of meat at this market, but that's perfect because that is exactly what we're here for.
So we have two different types of ham. Jamon serrano, what is right in a sandwich, that comes from the white pig, and Jamon Iberico de bellota. It comes from black hoof pig, Iberico, because they are native to Spain and Portugal, Iberian countries. And the bellota. You know bellota?
No.
Bellota are acorns. So they eat only acorns for the last 4 months of their lives. And acorns have like an oleic acid that gives another flavor to the fat. Also increasing your good cholesterol, lowering the bad one. So it's like healthy.
Okay, healthy
Just
ham.
healthy heads. Longer and so sharp.
Wow. Crazy, wow. Eso es para ti.
Pues al revés, pero que lo prueben los dos.
So this is Iberico ham. This is ham that is from a pig who is raised in the Iberico region, so Portugal and Spain. It is fed only how do you say? Bellota acorns for the last 4 months of its life. Katharina was telling us that there are 4 different grades of Iberico ham based on their diet and their breed. We're eating the Negro grade, which is the best and most expensive. She was saying that it goes for 100 euros per kilogram with a minimum spend of 5 kilos. So 500 euros just to get this ham. That's amazing. I'm excited to try it. Whoa. Wow. That is so good. It's really sweet. It's really sweet. But also
like-
so tender.
Does it taste like acorns?
It doesn't taste like acorns, but it also does not taste like any ham that I've ever had before. It's amazing because they cut it so thin. Whoever is cutting it has to be an absolute professional with the right tools, and it's really just cool to watch the whole process. She was also saying that experts eat it alone or with a small piece of bread or these picos that we have, because otherwise it will overpower the taste of the ham. I prefer it on its own. It's so good.
We're visiting all family-run businesses today. So Gemma actually started this company when she was 19 years old, which is so amazing.
¿Por cuántos años ha tenido este shop? ¿Cómo se llama?
10 años.
10 años, hace 10 años, wow.
Y 20 con el Iberico.
Okay.
El doble.
Okay. Wow.
Doble, wow.
Okay.
Qué bueno.
Vuestra edad.
Wow. Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Popular churros in the city, and it's so
wow.
And again, it's like ham. I mean, when you see that they are making it in front of you, it's totally different. I think in everything, like in ham, when they are cutting it in front of you.
Listo.
Me da para firmar. The great grandfather, he was a worker, but he was pretty poor. So he had a vacation in Argentina, and he bought a lottery ticket. And guess what? He won the lottery. So he came back here with his winnings, and he opened this El Comercio. But he bought the entire building. So actually, the dad and the great grandfather of Paco and Paco too, they all were born in this, and raised in this
Wow,
building.
that's
That's
so
amazing.
Wow.
And so it's not only family-run business, it's like
family
family
lives.
inside the
They live
building.
in- That's amazing.
That's amazing, really.
Hopefully they all get along.
It's always full of people, and that's
Amazing.
amazing. They are the best for churros.
Okay,
Amazing.
so that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited.
Vamos en Plaza del Pan.
Okay, that bar was hopping, so we got some churros to go. These look so good. We got to watch them make and fry the dough right there in the bar. It was so cool. And they smell delicious. And it actually comes with some hot chocolate here, you can see, which apparently they used to just have it with powdered sugar on top. But now, since the 16th century, they started dipping churros into hot chocolate, which sounds unreal. So let's try it. Oh, that's not even just like hot chocolate that you drink. It's actually just melted chocolate. What? It's gonna be so hot. Okay, I can do it. Oh, wow. That is so rich, but so delicious. It tastes like a very hot, fresh donut, you know?
Oh, it looks so good.
2 seconds later.
It's part of the flour.
Yeah,
It's
I
a,
have two. I mean,
it's a branch.
I don't know if you can like eat those without spilling chocolate on yourself. You
think
know,
so
like
either.
I think that's just like a rite of passage.
Thank you. That kind of looks like the design, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I would never know.
Good luck, don't spill on yourself.
No
You are already
promises.
dripping
No
everywhere.
promises.
I got you.
Wow. Whoa.
That's so good.
Deep fried dough and chocolate. What's not to love?
Doesn't it kind of taste like a really warm Long John from Tim Hortons?
From Tim Hortons, yeah.
Like a donut dipped
We
in
don't
chocolate?
we don't have to relate everything to Tim Hortons.
It's way better. It's like 1,000 times better. Those churros were absolutely delicious and so interesting because apparently they're considered a breakfast food here, which is so different from other places that we've tried them where they're definitely more of a dessert or treat kind of thing. And now we're just walking through some other cute streets, and I just always love this part of food tours, and why we always prioritize going on food tours is you just learn so much about a city even beyond the food. Like Katarina is just sharing so much about the history and the architecture here, and I don't know, I just think it's so amazing to just get a better grasp of Sevilla as we get to eat all this delicious food.
Bocaditos.
Oh yeah.
This has so much sugar on it. This is just gonna get everywhere. I can already
Your
tell.
black pants.
My black pants are just gonna have. So the bocaditos de
Bocaditos árabes.
Árabes. So Arab, like what?
Árabes bites.
Arabic bites. Bocaditos. Bocaditos árabes. Árabes. Gotta keep my Spanish up here. But yeah, these are just so full of this, like icing sugar.
Canela.
Canela. Lots of cinnamon. So good. Wow. So we are back in the Barrio Santa Cruz, and this area was historically Jewish, but when the Catholics came to Spain, they expelled all of the Jews and all of their properties were given to the church. This particular building was converted into a convent, and the nuns became really well known for being amazing bakers. And they held on to these medieval recipes that combine Jewish, Catholic, and Arabic recipes, which is why now we have these Arabic bites.
Snowing.
Snowing. So good. Sorry.
The powder like
It's really
blows out
rude
of your
to
mouth
talk.
when you talk.
Now that we're in Europe, I'm trying to be proper, but I'm not supposed to talk with my mouth full anymore.
Just now.
Just now. Oh, we have made it to my favorite part of the tour, the alcohol portion. And we are at a bar that I have never seen anything like this before. This bar is dedicated to a Catholic holiday. This is what they call a cofrade bar, and it is like a brotherhood for Holy Week or Semana Santa. So we are trying vermouth, which is a fortified and aromatized white wine by adding caramel to sweeten it, grape spirit to fortify it, and it is soaked in up to 100 different botanical spices and herbs, and each bar has its own unique recipe. So this is different than the vermouth that we have at home. It is actually its own special type of drink. And in this particular cofrade bar, we are having vermouth with a little bit of gin on the rocks. I'm excited to try it.
It looks so good.
Yeah. Whoa. I can really taste like the herbs in it. Like I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Yeah, that is incredible. It does, you can definitely taste that it tastes like wine a little bit.
Yeah.
But then just all these different flavors. It is,
Caramel, but that is not too sweet.
yeah, it has different like waves of flavor.
It's very spicy, like it has like a spice, like a good set of spice to it.
That is delicious. And we got a fresh orange juice because the orange juice here in Spain has been so fresh and so delicious. I'm addicted to it. Next, we're trying some montaditos, and apparently these are everything. They can be eaten as kind of a street food vibe. They can be eaten as a snack when you arrive at a bar. If you just arrived and you just kind of want to get some food in you before you order some drinks, it can be ordered before your big meal. Sounds like you can literally just eat these kind of whenever you're feeling a little snacky. So we got two different types. This is a montadito de pringa, which has stew inside of it. And I asked what kind of stew, but apparently it just kind of depends. It's kind of like a leftover, whatever you want to just kind of put inside. Looks pretty good. And then we have montadito de melva con pimiento, which is a type of tuna. So essentially just like a mini tuna sandwich. These look really delicious. And some chips. Real authentic, I'm sure.
I'll
So
try it
I
out.
start with, yeah, I'll start with the stew one. I can't even put into words what this reminds me of. It's just like a, I don't know, a little greasy meat sandwich. You know? I don't know. It kind of tastes almost like when you make like a pulled pork sandwich at home. That's almost the taste. It's just like a really, like just meat and bread. That's what it tastes like. It's just really good. Tuna?
Try it.
This one smells delicious.
Melva.
Melba. It honestly just tastes like a tuna sandwich that you make at home, but I can imagine it's so nice having these little bite-sized, or not bite-sized, but you know, little tiny sandwiches as kind of like an appetizer. Or just if you go out and get a drink and you don't want a full meal, just having something small that you can get really fast, like, oh, it's amazing. That tuna is so good.
Next, we had a chance to try some of our first sherry wine along with some delicious Spanish tapas.
Tapas are super important here in Spain, so much so that there's actually a verb, tapear, which means to go and get tapas, and it's a big social event. You go with a bunch of friends, you get a couple of drinks, and there are always these little meal things that you can get along with your drinks. So today we're trying 3 different ones. This one is very local here to Sevilla. This is Espinaca con Garbonzos, so spinach with chickpeas, and a bunch of extra virgin olive oil, which is super, super popular in Spain as well. And croquettes, and then we have pork cheek. These all look so, so good. So I'm gonna start with this one. This is supposed to be super local in Sevilla, and it looks delicious. Oh. That is seriously so good. I love spinach, and I love chickpeas, and this has some cumin in it as well. And wow. Okay, next we have croquettes, and these are filled with a stew and bechamel, which apparently is a very common sauce. I've never heard of it. I don't think I've ever tried it, but apparently you put that in lasagna, and and other things. It's just a kind of creamy sauce. And then we have some garlic aioli here as well. That is very nice.
I'm so jealous that you get to try these before me. I'm actually super hungry right now.
They're so good. I love that croquettes always kind of have like this pureed inside to them, you know? It kind of almost has a texture of like mashed potatoes or something. Like just texture, obviously it's not actually potatoes. But I just really love how just soft they are inside. I'm gonna eat all of these actually.
No.
Fine, you can try this one first.
Fine.
I'll let you.
So I get to try the pork cheek. Now this is typically a very hard meat, but they put it into like a slow cooker and they cook it for a really long time. So now it's extremely tender and just falls right apart. Oh. I'm in love. I'm in love with food. This is so good. This would be particularly amazing on a sandwich. This would be like a pulled pork sandwich and oh.
You're probably gonna offend someone by saying it needs to be eaten on bread.
It doesn't need to be eaten on bread, but it would be really good on bread. But wow, this is
So tender.
so tender, so tender. Amazing, amazing. Tapas are very important to culture here in Spain, as Sarah has said. But what's very interesting is that each city kind of has their own type of tapas. Like here in Sevilla, we're eating different things than we would in Barcelona or in Valencia. And it's just a really cool way that if you're traveling through the country, you get to try different tapas in different places. As far as the origins go, there is a theory that tapas originated right here in Sevilla. A king in the 17th century basically outlawed serving alcohol and food together and as a way to promote husbands going home to their wives to eat instead of spending all day at the bar and eating there. But it wasn't illegal to set up a tablecloth with some bread and some salt. You just couldn't serve a full meal. Well, eventually some of the men just ended up bringing in their own chorizo and some cheese, and eventually they just found out that this was a great way for the bars to make money, and that is how we have tapas today. It is super, super popular. Everywhere that you go, you will see people eating tapas on the street, in the bars, and it is literally probably one of the most common things you will see here in Spain. Now, I'd like to say that I know all of this information myself, but we are getting a lot of information from our guide, Katarina. We are on a food tour right now with Devour Tours, and it is so, so great to go on a food tour right when you get to a city. It's always so important to us to get all of the right information from a local who lives here in Sevilla.
How you doing over there?
Just contently eating all this meat while you're filming over there. This is delicious.
And of course, we have to end our food tour with some ice cream, which is very good because it is so hot here in Sevilla.
So hot. We ordered the ice cream flavor Sevilla Antigua, which is based on a typical pastry here called Roscon de Reyes. And it's a kind of a Christmas pastry made into this ice cream flavor, but it has orange, some cinnamon, almond, and yeah. It kind of tastes like a, what is that, fruit cake.
Fruitcake? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so good. Wow.
Ooh, this berry one is really delicious, actually. This is the perfect ending to a great day.
Absolutely. We want to say another huge thank you to Katarina and Devour Tours.
Thank you for joining me.
Gracias.
This has been such a great tour, and I feel like it's been a really local experience, especially because you live here, but we've been going to very local establishments that are all family run and just trying very authentic local food. So I just always love that in a food tour, and thank you for being around today.
Yeah, really, thank you so
Very
much.
great. We learned so much. This is why we say it's always so important to go on a food tour right when you get to a place, because we learn so much about the food not only about the food and like what types of things we would like to order again, but also just the history of the places here in Sevilla. And it's just always so great to learn so much about a new place. So.
And Devour Tour runs tours not just in Sevilla, but all over. So we'll link it in the description and make sure to check out their tours for wherever you're visiting.
Yeah. Absolutely. And thanks so much for watching.
See you in the next one.
Bye.
Mine.